All right, hello everyone. This is Dan Miller, William Woods University, EDU 730 for activity 1.3, where we were to look at the text with Marzano outlining the high reliability schools with the 5-level hierarchy. So here we go. I decided to look at the Park Hill School District, which if any of you are familiar with the Kansas City area, Park Hill, uh, pretty well run, well put together school district, rather large in the greater Kansas City metro area. I myself work in the Kearney School District, so you know, competing with one another in athletics, we're a little bit smaller than Park Hill, but certainly if you're from the Kansas City area, Park Hill School District again is one that is very well run, and they do a great job across the board. So comparatively, Park Hill was one that I wanted to set my sights on as far as looking at these levels of hierarchy according to Marzano. So I'll just read this. Park Hill School District is a public school district with pre-K programs through grade 12. The district includes 11 K through 5 elementary schools, 4, 6 through 8 middle schools, 2 9 through 12 high schools, a day treatment school, an early childhood education center. Other support facilities include a district aquatic center, support and transportation services, and the district office. As part of the district's long-range facility planning to support enrollment growth, the district opened the Lead Innovation Studio in a new facility in fall 2020. This 9 through 12 high school program serves students from the existing 2 high schools. Park Hill School District's Gerner Family Early Education Center provides free-based educational services for pre-K students, early childhood special education students, and ELLs, Head Start, and supports parents as teachers. Park Hill School District also offers an array of community services, including the Adventure Club, Community Education District, and Natatorium. So overall, rather large district encompassing a rather large area in terms of square miles, which I'll show you here. Which I know that's kind of hard to see, but if you're familiar with these areas such as Riverside and Parkville, which can be categorized as Northland, if you've ever heard that phrase in reference to north of the river in Kansas City, in Clay County, with some parts of Jackson County as well. That's kind of what we're referencing here. So as part of this process, I know that it was recommended and or strongly suggested that a district leader be interviewed. I happen to know Jamie Dial pretty well. I've worked with her mom for a number of years as a fellow administrator. So Jamie has served in several leadership positions in the Park Hill School District, currently the Assistant Superintendent for Quality and Student Services. So you can see her previous positions held there, all the way from teacher and coach to director positions and building and district leadership positions as well. So responsibilities, I won't read through every single one of these, but Student Services Department, she's a member of the Superintendent's Cabinet, leads the district's strategy and quality efforts, process management, MSIP compliance, budgeting, different committees that she serves on, and a number of different areas that fall under her care as far as supervisory type roles, as you can see there on the last bullet there. So a wealth of resources that Dr. Dial had shared with me. So when we consider the effective systems and implementation for the Park Hill School District, I think a number of things stand out. So kind of given the condensed version here, the Missouri Quality Award winner is a distinguished award that the Park Hill School District has been honored with over the last 5 years. She really had a lot to say about the team-oriented nature and collaboration, which would align with PLC, which we kind of spent time focusing on in this course. And then kind of shifting gears a little bit, I wanted to focus on the Real World Learning Initiative, which is the Ewing Kauffman Foundation based out of Kansas City. This is something that's really taken off over the last couple of years, with several school districts participating within their given cohorts. There's grant money tied up into it, really just kind of overhauling what public education is in terms of not only college readiness, but more of a focus on career readiness and 21st century skills to assist students in contributing in the workforce. So as part of that, Dr. Dial shared that a major focus with the system development, charting processes, and then overall really just a follow through. What I always like to share in something like this is there's adoption and then there's implementation. So we can always adopt these ideas and say, yeah, we're going to do this and here's how we're going to do it. But until that's implemented with boots on the ground type stuff, you're really not going to get anywhere. So to kind of give you a visual, this was Park Hill School District's real world learning pitch in order to be granted um, participation within the program in addition to funds that were tied into the grant itself. I'm not going to play this entire video for you, but just understand that there's a lot of work that went into this with a lot of different people, a lot of planning, and something that will take shape and evolve over the course of the next several calendar school years. So that is available online in its entirety. It's around 49 minutes long, talking about different things like the different goals that they would have, highlighting Lead Innovation Studio and kind of where Park Hill School District plans to go as far as their vision. So um, another piece here, and I will show this video just because it's short and it's brief. If you're not familiar with real world learning and what that's about with the Kauffman Foundation, this is really useful to kind of paint that picture of where these schools participating within this initiative aim to go. So. So if you haven't had a chance to really dive into what this whole real world learning thing is all about, it really is some pretty neat stuff. Not every single school within the Kansas City area is a participant. Not every single school was granted this opportunity necessarily. But I will say that there's I wouldn't say a laundry list, but there's an actual list of several cohorts and several districts that are participating within this. So in terms of the Park Hill School District, 2018 was referred to as the 0 year as far as implementation and the planning process of where we want to be in 5 years. So less is more here to kind of narrow the focus in terms of goals. So goal number 1 for Park Hill is each student will graduate college, career, and life ready. Goal 2, ensure success for all students regardless of background. The keys to excellence are listed right there: financial, academic, climate, and employee. With the core values being visionary leadership, high expectations, integrity, continuous improvement, student focus, and equity. Graduate profiles, also referred to as portrait of a graduate. That's kind of where we want our graduates to be when they leave us in their post-secondary careers. You know, what is it that we need to strive in meeting the needs of these students and improving them to contribute out there in the real world. So taking that a step further, there's an acronym. It's referred to as an MVA, a market value asset. I speak for not only my own district, Kearney School District, but other schools like Park Hill, Platte County, Kansas City Mo. There's different definitions that are tied into market value assets as far as what we want kids to obtain by the time they graduate high school. So I won't go through this whole document with you, but IRCs, industry recognized credentials, dual credit opportunities, client-centered projects, internships, externships. That's kind of the vision that real world learning is all about. So how does this all tie into this project of high reliability status according to the 5 levels by Marzano and others? Well, as outlined, level 5, competency-based education, level 4, standards reference reporting, level 3, guaranteed and viable curriculum, level 2, effective teaching in every classroom, and level 1, safe and collaborative culture. I think there's an argument that can be made that each one of these levels is involved in the real world learning process as far as planning and execution. However, just from my own personal standpoint, I feel like there's a couple levels that are a little bit more prominent than others. More specifically, level 3, the guaranteed and viable curriculum, because essentially over a 5-year process and beyond, there's a curriculum overhaul, at least at the secondary level. So not only is that going to be changed, but there's the implementation of the market value assets. You know, for example, what does that look like in a social studies classroom? What does that look like in an English classroom? What does that look like in a project lead the way classroom, which might be a little bit easier? So there's really some careful planning and thought process that goes behind that from a curricular standpoint. Level 2, effective teaching in every classroom. As Mark Bedell said in the video, there's a deviation that we really need to strive for from teaching and learning to more of exploration and facilitation as far as letting kids know what awaits them in this 21st century world that they're embarking on. Second part of that would be client-based projects, which is we have a career and readiness coordinator, as does Park Hill, as far as client-based projects, as far as the coordination of that. And then lastly, the safe and collaborative culture, building off the existing strengths, building off of the PLC model with departmentalization and the consistency for the common courses. So overall, wholeheartedly, I would say that these are definite areas of promise. I feel like Park Hill School District is very strong in a lot of areas with the new trend and the new movement leaning towards the real world learning initiative. When we read through the textbook and when we look through Marzano and kind of what he outlines as far as what lines a school up for being successful, I think that, again, wholeheartedly, Park Hill School District definitely falls into that category. So with that, I close. I welcome any feedback that you might have over this and look forward to working closely with y'all soon. Thank you.